We'll call this meeting to order.
Commissioners have had the opportunity to review the agenda and have no conflicts requiring recusal or abstention. Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Commissioner?
Yeah.
Henry? Yes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That takes us to item number 3. The approval of the agenda. So moved. It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Being motion carries. Item number 4, we're going into public comment. And we're going to let this fill 3 minutes for each person that wishes to speak. And before we get into public comment, I'm going to have Dennis say a few words, our managing director of the Road Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to provide a chronologically of the events that are happening that brought many of you here. So first, I'll thank you to everyone for coming to today's meeting. We appreciate all your perspectives, and we're sensitive to the valid and passionate feelings on both sides of this issue. The Road Commission for Oakland County strives to be a valued partner to its communities while making its roads safe for the motoring public. The Road Commission had and has no intent to threaten or intimidate, and intends only to act in the best interest of the public. In that spirit, we understand the world events impact our communities here at home and wanted to share the chronological order of the events. So, you know what happened. So the application for this segment of Adopt the Road was first submitted on July 7th, 2025. We had an internal review in August 2025, and then the application was resubmitted on September 21st, 2025. This board approved it on November 6, 2025. The signs were installed on June 10th of 2026. So sometime between June 10th and June 14th, when they were removed, those signs were damaged or vandalized. We did remove them on June 14th of 2026. As noted above, the Adopt the Road signs were removed for safety purposes, and I can't emphasize that enough. That's why we removed them. It was concern for safety. And upon their removal, as I mentioned, they were vandalized, or before we removed them. And also share that we remove any signs anytime they are vandalized. We were contacted by the West Bloomfield Police Department with respect to the damage that occurred here. Again, the removal was content neutral and based on safety concerns. Again, we welcome you to share your perspectives. We look forward to our continued partnership. We will review your written and verbal statements and consider them in any future review of our policies and processes.
Thank you, Dennis, for laying that out. At this time, we're going to open up public comment. And once again, it's limited to 3 minutes. So
We do have a few on here that are here not for Adopt a Road. So those are circled there. They must speak first.
okay. All right. Is Roz Rockendorf here? Roz? You wish to speak? Going once? Going twice? 3rd time? Okay, how about Kathleen Morrow?
Yeah.
Would you like to come up to the podium, please?
Yeah, right there.
And this one too, right?
Sure. I gave you guys some pictures. I'm here to request like a resolution for the problem that we have with our next door neighbor who put in another drain another driveway. It's, our next door neighbor at 414 Shorewood Court, in Lake Orion, is zoned as a one-family property consisting of a main house, boathouse, and garage. Main house has been rented as one family for the past 4 to 5 years. For years, she has illegally done things without approval of the township, nor the consideration of the effect of the neighborhood. There are many illegal actions or code violations against the property being done without permits or approval by the Orion Township, Eagle Waters, or the Road Commission. Examples are gas, electricity, renting out the boathouse, a 6-foot fence to divide her property, and now we have day stayers that are renting the boathouse out. I'm sorry to say, but problems never seem to end. While we push forward in other ways to accommodate the owner at 414 Shorewood Court, lately Shorewood Court's road, example is the lately Shorewood Court's road, leaving of the road near the east end of Shorewood Court, is trying to direct the water to flow near the roundabout end instead of her drain, which you'll see on the picture. Richard Zaprowski is our contact for our road paving and has been on the site to uncover that rock driveway to reveal the drain. The Road Commission requires to present plans to pull permits for this item driveway. That was never done, and installing a second driveway on a public road is a violation of several Oakland County rules. They have violated Part 1 general provision and Part 2 permitting processes of the Road Commission. Julie had the drain covered with this new driveway, recovering up the grate that was installed to drain a low point in the road. We and 5 other neighbors downstream lived with a pool of water across our 40-foot driveway width on Shorewood Court due to the redirection of the water flow. Of course, videos and pics are more available. It appears at this point that there is a 90% coverage of the land with stone, concrete garage, boathouse, leaving no green space on the house side of the fence. We are sure this is a certain amount. There should be a certain amount of green space required on the property.
Thank you. Next speaker will be Heather Burnham. Are you here, Heather? Okay. All right, we'll go on to Terry Awa.
So, appreciate the chairman comment about the removal of the sign with the word Palestine. That was not conveyed in the media and the message from the county executive. So I am here to talk about the racism and how it was conveyed to us as a community. I'm a past assistant county executive in Wayne County, so I appreciate the hard work and how you vet signs to have people to volunteer in the community and how long it takes. I'll start with the first objection that I have. First, the word Palestine used by the county executive is a slur. It's a civilization that spans beyond 6,000 years. We go back to the Phoenicians and the Byzantines and more. We lived in that region for so long, but we are here as community and in here in Oakland County. We are a large community, and by using the slur as Palestine and removing the sign based on what we read in the media, it says that you Palestinian people are not welcome in our county. Just imagine if that word Palestine, that you use Chinese, Spanish, Jewish, or anything else. With politicians or people that work in public service allow this to happen, but they allow it to happen in Palestine. That's one thing. The second thing, the equation that the Jewish community is offended because the word Palestine in there, because there was a recent attack on the synagogue. First of all, that attack did not happen by a Palestinian. So to equate the act of one violent person with the Palestinian community, you don't only put our life in danger, you put the life of the Jewish community in danger, because you say that all the Jewish community in here don't want Palestinians in their roots. So that is really bothersome. Oakland County, I'm sorry, Wayne County, I came from Wayne County. But Oakland County is a place that should be inclusive. It should be open for everybody. We have this everywhere. Yet you are telling the county executive is saying.
You have 20 seconds to finish up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The county executive is saying to us that our business is not welcome. So this is not about international issues. It's about a community that made themselves home in here, and you took it away from us. So please reconsider.
Thank you for your words. Is Tommy, Arian? Tommy Arian? Better?
So ones that are signed in, right?
Okay. What about Lori Angeloni?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Lori Ken Argeloni. I am an upstanding citizen in Birmingham and indeed the Oakland County. I am Palestinian American, and I am proud to be a Palestinian American. I am a mother of 4 children. I'm a daughter. I have worked in Birmingham for 40 years. I have been an activist in many community projects, and I am an activist for peace. Peace. I'm also an educator. And when I saw this program, Adopt a Road, I thought it was brilliant, absolutely awesome. Just what a community should do and should have this opportunity to bring people together. If it's a Latin community and it says Latin voices, welcome here. If it is I saw one that said Vietnamese something somewhere along in Oakland County. Brilliant. Makes them feel welcome, makes them enjoy having their businesses and their people contribute into Oakland County. What happens when you have Palestinian voices? The only sign that was, I guess I didn't know it was vandalized, but vandalized and removed. So that means people are trying to remove me and my family and all the other Palestinians here, trying to remove us. The erasure of my people is disgusting. We're erased out of all curriculum across the country. We're erased in culturally. We are rich. You heard Terry say we're 6,000-year-old civilization. The contributions our people have made to the world should never, ever be erased around the world or in my own county, my own town. That is a horrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling. I have 4 kids, as I mentioned. How do you think they feel going to school? Knowing this. So I'm going to ask you to put the sign of peace, Palestinian voices. It means peace. I'm sick of hate. Let it start here. Let it start with this road adoption. So I ask you to return it. Again, I thank you for your time to let me address you, and I wish you a pleasant decision trying to return the sign.
Thank you, Ms. Angeloni.
Thank you for your words. Okay, next up is Benji.
My name is Benji. I've been an Oakland County resident my whole life, and I'm Jewish. Not that that should be relevant. So I would like to know the details of this vandalism of the signs, and if any words or symbols were printed on it or if it was damaged in any way. I'd like to know the details about that. But I find it ridiculous to take down a sign because some people say they were offended by the word Palestine or Palestinian. Thank you. Like, imagine if this were 1942 and there was a sign that said Jewish voices, but members of the German communities, that it would make Germans feel unsafe to have that sign. That is essentially the same issue that we have here. So yeah, I see this as a First Amendment issue, and I I'll yield my time to the other speakers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Benji. Okay, next will be Louis Elbinger. You have 3 minutes to speak.
My name is Louis Elbinger. My public speaking ability is impaired by a diagnosis of Parkinson's. I feel strongly about this issue. I'm going to testify anyway. It came to my attention that RCOC removed these signs sponsored by a group called Voices of Palestinians because some members of the Jewish community complained and made them feel unsafe for reasons which are not clear. I am a member of the Jewish community, and I'm speaking today in support of allowing these signs to be displayed as originally posted. I see this issue as a matter of freedom of speech. I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States on 2 separate occasions. Once in 1984 when I was sworn in as a Foreign Service Officer in the U.S. Department of State, and again in 2017 when I ran for Congress in California, Congressional District number 1. On both occasions, I never thought to do anything to protect the Constitution of the United States. Now I see that our constitutional freedoms are under attack in many ways. I feel that I have to take action. The idea that Jews at Oakland County are made unsafe by these 2 adopted highway signs is false and irrational. I'm 79 years old. I've been speaking for peace, human rights, and freedom of speech for the past 60 years, starting when I was a student at Oakland University protesting against the war in Vietnam. Rather than violate our freedom of speech by removing the signs, I urge the complainants to meet with the Voices of Palestinians group for the purpose of finding common ground. The ideal solution would be that the 2 groups find harmonious understanding and clean our highways together. Everyone in this room knows that the First Amendment of the Constitution states, Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. What most people do not know is that freedom of expression is guaranteed by Article 19 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I will conclude my testimony by quoting Article 19. Quote, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. End quote.
Thank you, Louis. Next person, I believe, is Joshua versus Susan.
Joshua got up.
Identify the matter right here, right? Are you Susan? All right.
That was our part? Yeah. Our part? Are she reaching out? That's our part.
Not Josh.
I don't know.
You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Susan Farquhar, and I am an Oakland County resident from Pontiac, Michigan. I retired about 2 years ago, and likely because I worked at non-union jobs, unlike you all, I had to work 2 jobs to earn a living wage. My part-time job is a CNA doing private duty all the way through Oakland County, but a good deal of the time I spent caregiving at the Jewish Community Center Senior Life Apartments at Maple and Drake. Some of my clients were even survivors of the European Holocaust. This is why I was so uplifted when I heard that a Voices for Palestine, a Dr. Road sign, had been placed in an area rich with synagogues, mosques, and churches, because it is truly an area where people live their best lives as neighbors in an affluent area of Oakland County.
As you well know, are, and I quote, political leaders in Oakland County who are becoming infamous for their lack of transparency and backroom decisions, decided to remove the sign, which was sponsored by a Good Samaritan. A man reportedly stepped up to help maintain our roads in addition to loving thy neighbor has been silent. What exactly is law enforcement doing about this? Did we back down to bullies? I also would like to state, as an Oakland County resident, not in my name. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you.
Joshua, Feinstein?
Feinstein.
Feinstein, I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I realize it is a right and is a privilege. I do not take it lightly. Again, my name is Joshua Feinstein. I am a proud American Jew, and my family is the product of the Holocaust. And that is precisely why the destruction and removal of the Voices for Palestine and Adopt road signs fills me with deep concern. To be clear, Adopt a Road is a program of community service. Voices for Palestine is a group dedicated to peace. To silence both is to repress free speech itself. To those who sound the alarm and declare that this sign threatens Jewish safety, destroying it and removing it does not make us safer. What makes us safe is defending free speech for everyone. Not only when it aligns with our own sentiment. There are narratives and explanations and justifications for the removal, but ultimately, these signs were vandalized and removed because they made some uncomfortable. We have normalized the infringement of civil rights and the erasure of identities under the guise of protection. You see, some of my Jewish brothers and sisters legitimately fear this sign. To them, I say this, my fellow Ashkenazim. There are 3 words that protect us and 3 words that honor our shared humanity before we were divided between us and them. I'll say them in Yiddish for you. Philistine. In English, those 3 words mean free, free Palestine. When we restore this simple sign, we'll make more than a correction. We'll take our first step, to restoring something far greater. We begin restoring our humanity, we begin restoring our democracy, and on a personal note, we begin restoring the soul of the Jewish people. Thank you.
Clear words. Next is Anita Fishman.
Afternoon, my name's Anita Fishman. I'm looking forward to having the same kind of respect that's been demonstrated by the other speakers to myself, because my position is different. I come to you, I do have a planned beach. Did you want a copy of that? Was that what was indicated?
Yes.
I come before you today as a concerned resident of West Bloomfield. My concern about the recently adopt a road sign stating Voices for Palestinians. I choose to adjust the chosen location for these signs. I want to share with you that these signs would have been understood by our community if it was affixed in a different location. I wish to stress this is all about location, location, location. The location that was requested for these signs was not acceptable. It is important to recognize this as a public road and not a private residence or property. The communities surrounding these signs are experiencing fearfulness because of hate crime and anti-Semitism. This has been a reoccurring concern in our local communities. My belief is this sign was put up in that location. It is home to many Jewish residents and organizations. The Adopt a Road sign should be no place for inflammatory political comment, and this is truly an example of such. The gentleman who applied for this signage knew exactly what he was doing when he applied to have it placed there. I also share with you that I am Jewish. I shared that with you as the man who sponsored the sign chose not to share his heritage with the media when it was requested. That lack of transparency speaks deeply to his intentions regarding the placement of the signs. The gentleman who requested the sign stated he was surprised by the community's reaction. My recommendation is that he takes the signs to a community where it will be received differently. In your outline of adopt the program, item 14 says the Road Commission of Oakland County reserves the right to revoke this permit at any time. The permittee and all group participants, upon request of the Road Commission from Oakland County, shall immediately cease operations and surrender with permit. Now, I will tell you, I did not know it was vandalized. I'm disappointed to hear of that. But I will state that I will close with this statement. Words can shape the environment where violence can become possible. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I would like to leave these gifts with you. If anybody has an interest, it stands for Stand Up for Jewish Hate. You're welcome to wear them.
Who's next? Is Talawad Al-Zubi here?
Yes.
I believe I pronounced that right? I'm sorry.
You're doing pretty good, Eric.
Yeah, thank you for allowing us to speak today. I just wanted to say my name is Dalal Al-Zubi. I'm a Palestinian American. I'm a mother and a peace activist. And I want to first start off by saying, obviously, I'm here because I want you guys to support restoring and keeping the Next Mile Voices for Palestinians Adopt a Road sign up. I oppose any effort to remove that permanently. And I just want to say that these signs are not hateful, threatening, or discriminatory. I also want to point out that location matters, as the other speaker said. And one of the things at this location is about peace. We are peace activists, and there's nothing hateful or threatening or discriminatory about a group participating in a public service program by cleaning our roads and by supporting Palestinian human rights and bringing awareness. And I just want to point out too that these signs, the permit was put months and months and months before any type of attack against the synagogue was done. So this was not an intentional provocation, as some people have insinuated. I also want to point out that Palestinians are human beings. We have the same rights, the same dignity, same America for all Americans, and we have every right to have freedom of speech and have the ability to put road signs, adopt a road. We are not terrorists. We are families. We are students. We are workers, doctors, teachers, members of our community who deserve to be seen and heard. It's also important to recognize that criticism of Jewish hate and criticism of Israel and Zionism should not be conflated. So criticism of Zionism and Israel should not ever be conflated with hate towards Jews or towards anti-Semitism. That's a huge lie and really dangerous, incorrect, trying to shut down freedom of speech and trying to provoke really a dangerous environment for all. Being Jewish, as I said, should never be conflated with being a Zionist, and being anti-Zionist should never be conflated with being anti-Semitic. The Adopt a Road sign exists to encourage civic participation and community service. These signs simply acknowledge that volunteers are helping keep our roads clean. Removing them because of political pressure sends a message that some communities are welcome to participate in public life while others are not.
You have 20 minutes to finish up for 20 seconds.
I don't need 20 minutes. So keeping these signs up is basically affirms what we all believe in. We all believe that people deserve equal treatment, equal rights, and equal access to public spaces, regardless of your ethnicity, religion, or political views. I respectfully urge the road commission to restore these signs and ensure that these
Your
programs
your time's up, man.
are equal for everyone in.
Thank you for your words. David, Braun?
Was close. Most people don't get it. I'm also here to speak, putting the sign back up. I am the resident of West Bloomfield, not just Oakland County. I live on Farmington Road, just down the block. It's a regular area that I've been. And there is absolutely nothing. I mean, it's insane to think that this is a political statement. When someone puts an adopt a road sign up with the name Philistine on it. Well, exactly what political statement and what threat is this to absolutely anybody? I'm also Jewish. I mean, I'm not, that's who I am. I'm a Jewish American. And I'm an anti-Zionist Jewish American. I don't believe that anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism and support for Palestine are the same sort of thing all put together. It's not the same issue. Judaism is a religion over 5,000 years old. As somebody mentioned, Palestine goes back. Where did Judaism come from? It's all the same stuff. It's the same area of the world. Zionism is a political ideology from the 1890s based on racism, based on ethnic cleansing, and based on colonialism. You can't equate the two and somehow say, therefore, when someone says Palestine, they're anti-Jewish. There's nothing of the sort. And for the Road Commission to fall for that sort of ideological mistake and not to stand firmly for also the freedom of speech rights that are involved here, I think is a grave mistake on your part. And I think the fact that, it was explained it was vandalized, but that's not the political narrative that's being given to people. It's being said it was a threat and it was taken down because people saw it as a threat. It's not a threat. And as a resident of Oakland County and West Bloomfield, I think it needs to get restored, and we'll go clean the roads all together, all of us.
3 words. Next up is Rana Mazari.
Rania Masri.
Oakland County Road Commissioners, my name is Rania Masri. I'm from Farmington Hills. I speak to all of you today with deep disappointment after learning that an entire community's voice has been villainized and erased right here in Oakland County. I've grown up here in Michigan, surrounded by a vibrant, peaceful Palestinian community. My friends, my neighbors, and my colleagues are Palestinians. But last week, I found out that the Road Commission for Oakland County actively took down 2 official Adopt a Road signs because they dared to display the words, Voices for Palestinians. Let's be completely honest about how this happened. After the signs went up, over the course of 1 weekend, there was a swift wave of private text messages, chat groups, and posts on Facebook by a small but very vocal group of people with an agenda. County Executive Dave Coulter issued a statement calling a simple civic message of human visibility a provocation. And this commission immediately folded to that political pressure and took them down. Can you imagine if a group of residents did community service, picked up trash, and put up a sign that said Voices for African Americans or Voices for Indigenous Peoples, and the county executive pressured you to rip them down because neighbors complained that it made them feel unsafe? What kind of a society do we live in where a legal approved civic organization's name is treated like a threat simply because of the ethnicity that it represents? Dehumanizing an entire population to soothe political discomfort completely violates the founding principles of expression and equality in this county and country. I'm honestly appalled. The resident who sponsored these signs applied for them cleanly in September of last year, long before the tragic, unrelated attack on Temple Israel. This was a peaceful act of community service and visibility, not an act of intimidation. In fact, those who are intimidated by an entire ethnicity have the motives that should be questioned. The fact that these signs were removed in the first place is a stain on this county's commitment to equal protection under the law. I demand that the Road Commission for Oakland County reject the biased political pressure from a few vocal people with an agenda to strip Palestinians of their identity. Do not drag out a legal review to justify censorship. I call on this board to vote immediately to reinstate the Voices for Palestinian signs to their rightful locations on Orchard Lake Road. Treat your Palestinian American constituents with the equal dignity, respect, and rights that they deserve.
Next up is David Gateherf.
Mr. Chair, may I ask that my wife present first, since we made presentations together as Nancy Gadhart?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll follow her then, right?
I will.
It's like a big circle because I'm following him. Okay, I am a Jew and I'm a Zionist and I'm a member of Temple Israel. I'm also someone who has spent 40 years professionally and as a volunteer working to repair relationships and improve relationships between the Arab community of Detroit and elsewhere and the Jewish community of Detroit and elsewhere, where I've lived in other places. I worked with many of you in this room. We once were friends. I'd like to think that we still are friends, despite the differences. I think that we could all be honest about this very, very sad situation. It is heartbreaking that we cannot, people of the same tribes almost, seem to come to terms with one another. The reasons for that may not be here in Oakland County, but we, I believe, need to understand that we are all living here together as American citizens in Oakland County. The sign did not go up after, or was not petitioned, whatever the appropriate legal term is, wasn't asked for in any time frame related to the terrorist attack on Temple Israel. But it was asked for after October 7th, 2023. And I don't have to explain to you what any of those dates mean, but after that date, October 7th, we began to feel, we in the organized Jewish community began to feel very, very unsafe. David and I have been verbally and almost physically assaulted in small businesses in Detroit and in Oakland County because we are Jewish. We were disgustingly harassed at the Michigan Democratic Convention because we are Jewish and support Israel. We left that convention afraid and wondering what it means to be a member of the Democratic Party. That was after March 12th. But on March 12th, our collective hearts were broken. I obviously can't speak on behalf of the entire Jewish community because you heard from Jews here today who disagree with me. Our hearts were broken when a Hezbollah-inspired terrorist attack took place, Temple Israel, by a man who vowed to kill as many Jews as possible.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words.
Continue that line of thought. We're living at a time and in a place where Jews feel traumatized. There's a sense of PTSD for those of us who live in West Bloomfield and well beyond because of not only what happened, but what could have happened at Temple Israel. So I want to underscore that point and to reinforce the point that was made earlier, which was we don't oppose the wording on the sign. We definitely don't oppose Palestinians. Placing that sign in that place during this time period is hurtful to the many people that live in that area who are Jewish. Therefore, we urge the County Road Commission to adopt a process that would avoid potential future situations causing conflict and harm. I think that today's remarks only underscore the danger of having no clear standards for government signs. A process that we recommend would include creating and publicizing a standard. Are signs sponsored by a political or issue advocacy organizations or that express some kind of point of view on a political issue? That there should be necessary online research to confirm that a sponsoring person or group is legitimate and abides by that standard, and that there should be a review of all requests and flagging those that do not abide by that standard. And if there's any question about whether an applicant adheres to this standard, there should be an examination of whether its placement in terms of location and timing would alienate or inflict harm on a segment of the community. We hope that you will give these recommendations very serious consideration and take steps like these to assure that no community, Jewish, Palestinian, or other, will see a hurtful sign in their neighborhood. We thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to address you today.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker is Nancy already spoke, right? Yeah, read this person's name.
Mabel.
Bill.
Bill.
To me.
All right.
You're struggling with the name.
Your writing was kind of hard to read. So.
Okay, it's okay, thank you. My name is Nabil Abdul Sayr. I'm a Muslim Shia Lebanese, lived in Lebanon. 5 of my family members were killed 2 months ago by an American bomb delivered in Israel in Baalbek, which is about 100 miles from the south. On April 9th, my sister's building's house was targeted in Beirut, was collapsed. That's the one that Israel was bragging about, 100 strikes, 10 minutes, 50 sorties. That's my sister's building's house. Luckily, they were not home, but 13 of their neighbors were not so lucky. They perished in that building. They were not Hezbollah. They were not fighters. These were children, 3 children and their parents. And my sister's neighbors were all elderly people. Just put that out on the record. I ask you by reinstating that sign, I would ask you for a specific reason. I'm a member of JVP, Jewish Voice for Peace. I've been a member of JVP for 19 years. I'm very active. I'm a Muslim, but I'm a member of JVP, very active member working for peace. Jewish Voices for Peace, not for war, for peace. Sorry if my voice sounds shaky. Taking a word, Palestine is signed on because it says Voices of Palestine. Imagine if it said Voices of Ukraine. Would you be given a damn if the Russian community rose up and say, how can you put Voices for Ukraine, something on the sign, or Voices for Blacks, or Voices for anything? Would you be offended when we talk about the KKK, when we talk about being anti-Zionist or anti-Israel? Imagine if you say you're anti-KKK, someone tell you you're offending the white Christian community. I would love for you to hear that. I'm against white nationalism in this country. I'm taking you back 78 years ago to the days of Martin Luther King and having someone tell you you are an anti-white or anti-Christian. Just imagine these words, because that's what we're facing today. The thing I'm going to tell you is we've lost over 200,000 people in that region there. Okay. 98% of them probably have nothing to do with fighting. Okay, by Americans, by our tax dollars, by every one of us in here tax dollars. Instead of fixing our roads, our electricity went out yesterday. I live on Telegraph in 14 across from. I've been here for 40 years. Our electricity went down yesterday because every time we have a storm, the electricity goes out. We should take that money and put it here. We should take that money and we should take that money here. That's asking for and clean our roads. I want to conclude one thing here. You cannot occupy us over there and occupy us here. You cannot let us speak there and not us speak here. We have a voice and we deserve to be. We pay taxes. We are, as Americans, every single one.
Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment?
I was on there.
You can kind of come up and announce your name, and I'll see if I overlooked it.
My name's Andre Coley. The last one before Nabil.
I'm sorry, my mistake.
No problem. First of all, I'd like to address directly some comments that were made because I think Zionists are weaponizing fear like demagogues. I think that people are afraid because they're Zionists, not because they're Jewish. You in the Jewish community that claim anti-Semitism and harm are lying. It is not fearful to put the term Palestine around Jewish people. To claim that is racist. If it's a safety issue, don't protect the community from the signs, protect the signs from the community. Put them on tall poles and make them bigger so people can see them when they are on taller poles, so they cannot be reached by spray paint cans and other vandalism. That's the creative solution to this problem. I'm ashamed of David Coulter, who is our leader in this county, for being a racist against the Palestinian people. I am also ashamed of the Jewish community for standing up and claiming that the word Palestine is a fearful word or an anti-Semitic word. The word Palestine and all its derivatives are not anti-Semitic. The Anti-Defamation League has destroyed the meaning of the word anti-Semitic by conflating the Israeli genocide against Palestine and hatred towards Jewish people. Palestinians do not hate Jewish people. One could argue that Israelis hate Jews and Palestinians alike. First, because Israel uses Jews as a cover for their genocide against Palestinians, backed by the United States. And second, because Israelis have been committing genocide against Palestine since the Nakba in 1947, where over 750,000 Palestinians were displaced to allow the Western world to create Israel on Palestinian land against the will of the Palestinian people. Israel does not belong on Palestinian land. It never did, and it never will. Israel is an illegitimate nation on stolen land taken in a 70-year genocide. Israel is a terrorist state. I am afraid of Israel. I am afraid of Israel. I support a one-state solution whereby Israel is peacefully annexed into Palestine and Jews and Arabs live peacefully together under a Palestinian flag. This little bit of education is meant to help you reverse your decision to remove the innocent signs bearing the Palestinian people's name from the streets of Oakland County. It is incumbent upon you to educate the Jewish community in which you live. It is imperative that you lead by example in demonstrating to the Jewish community of Oakland County that merely invoking the Palestinian name is not anti-Semitism. In fact, it is racist to believe in this. The word Palestinian is bravo. Okay.
We got another person like to come back up, announce your name when you speak.
Of course.
Hello, my name is Bob Morris, and I support by being very clear. This is my wife Terry, who spoke earlier, and I absolutely agree with her position for all the right reasons. But I'm here for a little different reason. I'm sitting here and I got emotional because I spent 40 years working at MDOT in Wayne County, primarily on transportation issues, and at SEMCOG, doing the same thing. And I just want to say, the Road Commission for Oakland County is the best road commission in the state, period. When I worked at MDOT, Brent Bear, and later in Wayne County, Brent Bear and I had a lot of fun on issues. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, but always on basis of principle and so forth. And many of the issues were discussed right at the state and staff all the way through to the current people. I think you've got something to be really proud of. And I'm proud to be an Oakland County resident, and I'm proud to see the good work that goes on. That's my issue.
Thank you for your words. We have young lady like to come up to the podium and tell us your name and, you have 3 minutes.
My first time here addressing the board. So my name is Kathleen Morrow. I live in Lake Orion. And I had a question and a statement. My statement I've already given you. My question is regarding the rock driveway that starts on the road and goes all the way to the water of Lake Orion. It's on the northeast property line. This was informed by Orion Township that and Orion Township let the neighbor know that that was illegal, but now that the removing of that driveway lies in the hands of the road commission. So we are seeking to speak with somebody on the resolution to have this removed. That's it. Thank you.
Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for your words.
We'll have Scott go out. Yeah, what there's.
Well, Scott's gonna go.
He's going.
Okay, all right. Anybody else wishing to speak under public comment? What do we have?
Number 15.
Good afternoon, Road Commission. My name is Kim Rojab, and I'm here to speak with you regarding the Voices for Palestinians road sign that was removed recently. I have to start by expressing my disappointment with this decision because, you know, this was not a provocative sign. This was not a sign that was looking to incite violence in any way, shape, or form. And as a statement from Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter said, he released a statement shortly after the sign was taken down, and he repeatedly expressed concern and sensitivity for Jewish neighbors. But I just, as a Palestinian myself, I'm here to ask, what about Palestinians? He repeatedly said in his statement that he wanted to respect the members of the Jewish community, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. But I just don't see the same respect being returned to my community. He also said that it was, quote, deeply troubling that the sign was put on Orchard Lake Road. Orchard Lake Road is a main road, and it is located in the middle of a very diverse community. The sign itself, its positioning is more deeply troubling. Its contents were not deeply troubling. Nothing about it was deeply troubling. My voice is not deeply troubling. The voices of Palestinians are not deeply troubling. Does not mention Judaism, does not have any correlation to the Temple Israel attack, as was mentioned at all. So taking it down, in fact, the application for the road sign came in September, which is several months before the March attack on Temple Israel. So it had nothing to do with it. The sign, the words on the words on the sign do not suggest anything other than what they mean at face value, and it's just Voices for Palestinians. And I don't understand, and this is a question posed to the members of this commission right here, why is my voice somehow just the mention of it, Voices for Palestinians, why is that somehow provocative in any way, shape, or form? The person who applied for the sign and adopted a road said, quote, as time went on with the genocide in Gaza, the idea popped into my head that I wanted the other side to have a voice, the other side being Palestinians, children in Palestine, and that's why it's called Voices for Palestinians. He confirmed that it was just Voices for Palestinians.
5 seconds to finish up.
Thank you very much. What was provocative was the Facebook comments saying, take the sign down, graffiti their mosques. That was provocative. Our sign was not provocative.
Your time is up,
the response to it was. Thank you very much.
Anybody else wishing to speak, please come up to the podium and announce your name. I'll see you. Okay. But now, pronounce your name. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Salma Safia, Dr. Salma Safia. Good afternoon, members of or to the commission. I'm also a Palestinian, and I'm also wondering the same. Why does my voice as a Palestinian evoke so many voices to incite for violence against a simple sign that evokes so much hatred and calls for violence and so many strong sentiments? Israel, the fifth strongest nuclear power in the world, that's been trying to annihilate Palestinians and ethnically cleanse and massacre and genocide Palestinians for almost 1,000 days. Okay. The world, unless you're living on Mars under a rock, everyone knows that Israel's been trying to genocide Palestinians for the last almost 3 years. And a simple sign on Orchard Lake that says Palestinian Voices has evoked so much hatred. When I first heard about the sign, tears came to my eyes. I was moved. I was so happy. I was like, for a moment, I was like elated that someone actually cared to evoke a sign, to recognize the trauma, the brutality that Palestinians live with. And I'm not talking about the Palestinians that are actually living with on a daily basis till this day. Every single individual around the world recognizes that Palestinian children are being massacred till this day. Gunshots brutally to their heads, purposefully to their heads, till this day, till this moment, as I speak right now. Okay, I'm talking about the Palestinians here. Every time I turn on a water faucet, I think they don't have clean water, they don't have food, they don't have anything. For the last 78 years, we've been ethnically cleansed, we've been slaughtered, we've been massacred. But yet this individual thinks about putting Palestinian Voices on Orchard Lake, where I drive every single day. Immediately, the sign needs to be taken down. Why? Why, David Coulter? Why people of this area that feel threatened by a simple sign? Why are we not recognized? Why do we have to be why? Because people 78 years ago, because people that came from the ghettos of Europe on smuggler ships to steal our land. We are indigenous to Palestine. In the late 1800s, Palestinians.
Your time is up, ma'am.
Muslims and Christians lived in harmony in Palestine before the Zionists came.
Yeah, your time is up. Thank you for your words. Anyone else wishing to speak under public?
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, none being, motion carries. Item number 6, A and B, disbursements. It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, Motion passes. Item number 7, permits.
It's recommended board approve the permits as submitted by staff.
The moved and supported. Is there any discussion? None being, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8.
It's recommended board adopt the retirement accommodation resolutions for Kurt Bliss and Douglas Smartus.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Are these people here in the room or? Thank you for your years of service. Item number 9.
We can do A through D. It's recommended board adopt the resolutions accepting the deeds and easements for recording.
Moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10.
It's recommended board adopt the resolution, which is amendment to our 26 budget to add 1 survey assistant to the engineering department.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? We're starting to get all these positions filled, right? Or is it?
Well,
something new?
this is adding a new one. We have 4 survey crews and only 3 survey assistants.
We have somebody in mind.
I don't know that question, whether we have somebody, probably not yet because it's not in the budget.
Okay.
But when things were tough, when we were reducing staff, that was one of the positions that we cut. That position is a good building ground for starting in. They become an instrument operator. Then a lot of them go to become construction inspectors. So it's a real good entry level development job.
So more than likely it'd be somebody hired from within?
No, from outside.
Outside? But it is posted for
It will be after you put it in. It's not in our budget until you say so.
all right. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number 11.
We can do A and B. It's recommended board adopt the resolutions for the road closures.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being? Motion carries. Item number 12.
Recommended board approve the contract authorization for our crack ceiling program.
So
Support.
Been moved and supported.
budget folks.
Oh,
Yeah, what this does is we had a real good low bid, so we're actually utilizing the remaining budget.
Okay.
So we're getting more work done with the same budget.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13,
We can
A, B, and C.
yep. Recommended board approve the local cost participation agreements that are listed.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Being, motion carries. Item number 14.
We can do A, B, and C. It's recommended board approve the consultant task orders as they're listed.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. Is there, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Being, motion carries. Item number 15.
We received bids for our annual estimated quantities for cement. It's recommended the board award it to Core and Maine.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. During discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None being, motion carries. Item number
16A. 16A, receive bids for our preservation overlay program for 2026. It's recommended the board awarded and then splitting it as it's listed on the memo. That's between Ajax, Cadillac, and Ace.
Support.
It was between,
Right, and this is regionally, that's why we have three. Ace is usually the northern part of the county, that's where their facilities are. Cadillac's kind of central, and Ajax is, more to the south. So that when they bid to put, that's why you split it up, because they're better prices.
any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
CB received bids for 2026 countywide bridge preventative maintenance program. It's recommended the board award it to CA Hall.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, none being, motion carries.
We pushed it last time. I know. I'm okay with that.
Is there any, new business?
No, I mean, we might mention the unfortunate accident, we've already been notified. What do you call it, Jennifer? A hold? Litigation hold on it.
What's going on there right now?
Ferndale PD still has. So we received, the family has retained counsel, so what we see for litigation hold duration, so that the video is preserved and things of that nature. We were served with search warrant from the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, given them everything that they'd asked for and close that out, so. Doing everything we can to cooperate and support them.
I have a
How are
thing.
you doing?
Go ahead, Joe.
How is he doing?
Danielle, do you want
The driver.
He's doing okay. He's back at work. He's doing okay. Yep, sounds like he has a really good community and support around him to help him.
And then he can request legal.
Mike was nice enough to come out to the district on Monday and met with the whole entire district to talk about what services were available through HelpNet, if anybody needed it. And anything we can do to help them, we're happy to do that.
Now, does he know he's able to get legal advice if he asks for it?
Yeah.
I think somebody needs to let him know that.
Yeah.
There has to be an actual lawsuit filed. You have to put the case number in the request. All of that.
Yeah, so if anything comes up, we'll be sure to work with legal.
Please use it, let us know if we can get help.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Right. I just like to address something for everybody. It affects all of us. We've had 2 incidents in the last year. I know we got great programs. I mean, what are we doing wrong or this is still happening, I know they're unfortunate accidents, but I take it personally. I know, Dennis, you have to. Everybody here probably does,
Right.
But I mean, is there more we can do or what are we doing wrong?
Wrong. I certainly, we do internal investigation, follow our processes for every opportunity to determine whether something's preventable or non-preventable. You're still in the middle of this that just happened last week, so I don't want to speak too much early with respect to most recent one.
And these cameras I understand why we got the cameras now and it shows everything, so.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, even this last one.
Yeah.
Will bring some question in. I'm not judge and jury on it, but
yeah. Then I visited a facility, I forget which one it was, but with the communication radios for traffic control, like the walkie-talkies or whatever. Sometimes they go out, they don't work, they got to use their personal phones. I don't know what kind of system we have or what we have in place, but I think we might want to upgrade them or.
We do that constantly. It's first, the supervision needs to know that there's problems with the radios. I mean, we buy radios probably every couple of years because of the batteries. The other part is we got to make sure that we can charge it overnight. So the supervision, we buy the handheld radios all the time.
Bring it up at bi-weekly tomorrow.
I will.
Well, the employees on their own had to use their own phones, which I commend them for it. But when it breaks down and the battery ain't working, they got to react,
These are top quality radios that we buy. We're not skimping on them.
No, I'm not saying that, but they get abused, they fall, they get run over, they're elements in the weather, battery's not charged or.
Yep.
Sometimes you use your cell phone sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, again, as long as when supervision is notified of bad radios, we get them.
I was asking if you could look, if we can look into it.
Yeah, we do.
And
Bi-weekly tomorrow, Daryl can ask.
especially with all this, I mean, safety's number one priority, so.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
We will look at that.
Okay. So I have, anybody else wish to speak?
I want to say good job. Good job, Eric, managing big crowd here. Did a good job.
Thank you.
Happy 4th.
Yeah.
50.
Our next meeting will be July 9th. Need a motion to adjourn? One meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks.
Careful. There you go. Mom.